Good morning and Happy New Year. I hope your 2026 is off to a good start. I recently finished The Man Who Died 7 Times by Yasuhiko Nishizawa. And somewhat coincidentally, it turns out this story is set during a New Year's gathering. So the main character, Hisataro, is currently caught up in a great deal of family drama. Like he's in one of those large, now wealthy families where everyone is vying for the control of an inheritance, only things are complicated because of a lot of messed up relationships. So his grandfather has 3 daughters, and 2 of them, including the main character's mother, left home quite some time ago in order to escape negative relationships with their father and his issues. But that means that they left their third sister to handle his issues on her own. And it was after this break in their relationship that he gained his wealth. He and his third daughter worked together and ended up building something of a restaurant empire, and now he has a great deal of money. And then on top of that, the husbands of the 2 daughters who left home have fallen on very difficult times. So now all of them are gathered to try and get back into grandfather's good graces so that he will hopefully leave some of his wealth to them in his will. Their ideal would be to have the third sister, who has no children of her own, adopt one of their own kids. So main character has 2 brothers, and then his aunt has 2 daughters. So if she adopts one or more of them into her family, they can take up the family name and hopefully thereby inherit the family business. So yeah, things are pretty complicated. And additionally, when they arrive for this New Year's gathering, there's also 2 of grandfather's assistants and another woman related to his former wife, who he took in, if I'm correctly. So a different aunt. Let's see. So his grandfather has some really weird rules for this visit. He demands that they dress in a certain way. He has a lot of these eccentricities that they're all catering to because they want him to think well of them. But Hisataro himself is kind of distanced from all this drama. He observes everything from a somewhat detached point of view, and I think it's because he suffers from a unusual condition where at random he gets caught up in these time loops where he has to relive the same day 9 times. It's always 9 times. The loop always lasts for a full 24 hours, and he has no control over when this time loop kicks in. But because of this, he's actually mentally lived through a great many more days than his physical age would suggest, and it has given him a really kind of slightly apathetic, nothing he does has a big impact way of looking at the world, where he seems much, much older and a bit more cynical than his actual years. But during this New Year's gathering, his grandfather gets killed. They find him dead in the attic that the main character typically stays in when he visits their grandfather. And now he's stuck in a time loop, trying to prevent his grandfather from dying. Let's see. So something I liked. I found this quite an enjoyable read. I think the tone was pretty relaxing. I like the way it goes in kind of this observer, navigating this murder mystery. It's not... I don't typically like stories that dig into this whole family drama inheritance thing. It tends to have a lot of really negative people with a lot of really unpleasant motives trying to do things that are rather shady. But because the main character isn't really involved in that, and he has a really practical viewpoint, I guess, on all of this, it makes it so there isn't too much emphasis on that drama, so that I don't have too much of an aversion to hearing about it. The only thing I did not like was, I do think, like a lot of Japanese novels, like the ending was somewhat inconclusive. Like, not so much so that it was unsatisfying, but I think I don't know if this counts as a spoiler, I guess, so you can stop it here if just in case. But like, I think sometimes when it feels a bit like the entire situation, like you only just finished solving it, but suddenly it kind of resets, where you have a lot of the similar issues come back up again. Like, it makes it feel, well, I just kind of wish there was a little bit more closure, I guess, like where you don't even know how people's relationships turn out because it seems to stabilize and then it all gets messed up again.